explanation about Spanish colonial period. The history of the Philippines dating from 1565 to 1898, also known as the Spanish Philippines or the Spanish colonial period, was the period during which the Philippines were ruled as the Captaincy General of the Philippines within the Spanish East Indies, initially under New Spain until Mexican independence in 1821.
First Philippine Republic. The yoke has finally broken. When the First Philippine Republic was established in 1999, Gen. Emilio Aguinaldo declared in the Malolos Constitution his intention to confiscate large estates, especially the so-called PR lands. However, as the Republic was short-lived, Aguinaldo's plan was never implemented.
American period. Long live America. Significant legislation enacted during the American period. Philippine Bill of 1902 set the ceilings on the heritage of private individuals and corporations may acquire 16 has for private individuals and 1,024 has for corporations. Land Registration Act of 1902, Act number 496, provided for a comprehensive registration of land titles under the current system. Public Land Act of 1903 introduced the homestead system in the Philippines. Tenancy Act of 1933, Act number 4054 and 4113, regulated the relationship between landowners and tenants of rice, 50-50 sharing, and sugar cane lands.
Presidency of Manuel L. Quezon, 1935 Constitution is the Constitution of Supreme Law of the Republic of the Philippines. Commonwealth Act number 178, an amendment to Rice Tenancy Act number 4045, promote the well-being of tenants in agricultural lands devoted to the production of rice. National Rice and Corn Corporation, NARIC, 1936, to stabilize the price of the rice and to promote the social and economic condition of the people. Commonwealth Act number 461, 1937, specified reason for the dismissal of the tenants and only with approval of the Tenancy Division of the Department of Justice. Rural Program Administration, March 2, 1939, provided the purchase of lease of the haciendas and their sale and lease to the tenants. Commonwealth Act number 441, June 3, 1939, created the National Settlement Administration with a capital stock of 20 million.
President Manuel A. Rojas, 1946 to 1948. Republic Act number 34 to Republic Act number 50.
Manuel Rojas, 1892 to 1948, was the last president of the Commonwealth and the first president of the Republic of the Philippines. His administration demonstrated decisively that political sovereignty without economic independence, encouragement, reaction, perpetuation of social injustice and exploitation. After studying law of the University of the Philippines near in Manila, Rojas began his political career in 1917 as a member of the Municipal Council of Capiz.
President Alpido R. K. 1948 to 1953. Executive Order number 855, issued on October 23, 1950, replaced the National Land Settlement Administration with Land Settlement Development Corporation, which take over the responsibilities of agricultural ministry, equipment corporation, and rice and corn production administration.
Who is Ramon del Fierro Magsaysay Sr.? He was a Filipino statesman who served as the 7th President of the Philippines from December 30, 1953 to March 17, 1957. These are the examples of laws that have been passed to the government during his presidential term. 1. Republic Act number 116 abolished the Lasa Deco and established the National Resettlement and Rehabilitation Administration or NARA. To the settled dissidents and landless farmers, it was particularly aimed at rebel returnees, providing home lots and farmlands in Palawan and Mindanao. The purpose of this law, the policy of Congress to help speed up the free distribution of agricultural lands of the public domain to landless tenants and farm workers. 2. Republic Act Number 1199, an act to govern the relationship between landholders and tenants of agricultural lands, leasehold and shared tenancy. This act shall be known as the Agricultural Tenancy of the Act, Philippines. What is the purpose of this law? It is to afford protection to the rights of both tenant and landholders to ensure an equitable division of the produce and income derived from the land. Number 3. Republic Act Number 1400, Land Reform Act of 1955, created the Land Tenure Administration or LTA, which was responsible for acquisition and distribution of large tenanted rice and corn lands over 200 hectares for individual and 600 hectares for corporation. What is the purpose of this law? It secures farmers' tenure or right, promotes social equity, and provides them with necessary productive resources needed for ensure their economic viable and productivity. Republic Act Number 821, an act to establish an agricultural credit and cooperative financing system to assist small farmers in securing liberal credits, to promote the effective groupings of farmers into cooperative association, and to enable them to market efficiently their agricultural commodities, and to place agricultural basis of economic equality with other industries and for other purposes. What is the purpose of this law? To encourage greater productivity and increase income of small farmers, to apply labor law equally regardless of status, to provide a land settlement program and promote equitable distribution of lands.
President Carlos P. Garcia, 1957 to 1961. President Diosdado P. Macapagal, 1961 to 1965. Republic Act Number 3844 of August 8, 1963. Agricultural Land Reform Code. The Agricultural Land Reform Code, officially designated as Republic Act Number 3844, was an advancement of land reform in the Philippines that was enacted in 1963 under President Diosdado Macapagal. It abolished tenancy and established a leasehold system in which farmers paid fixed rentals to landlords rather than a percentage of harvest. In agricultural leasehold, the farmer cultivates and the land belonging to or by another with the latter's consent for a price certain in money or produce or both. It also established the Land Bank of the Philippines to help with the land reform, particularly the purchase of agricultural estates for division and resale to small landholders, and the purpose of land by the agricultural lease.
President Ferdinand A. Marcos, 1965 to 1968. Proclamation Number 1081 on September 21, 1972 assured the period of the new society. 5 days after the proclamation of martial law, the entire country was proclaimed a land reform area, and simultaneously the Agarian reform program was decreed. President Marcos enacted the following laws: Republic Act of 6398, Code of Agrarian Reform, and Nor-ain number 6390 of 1971. Created the Department of Agrarian Reform and the Agrarian Reform Special Account Fund, and strengthened the position of farmers and expanded the scope of agrarian reform. Presidential Decree of Number 2, September 26, 1972, declared the country under Land Reform Program. It enjoined all agencies and offices of the government to extend full cooperation and assistance to DAR. It also activated the Agarian Reform Coordinating Council. Presidential Decree Number 27, October 21, 1972. Restricted land reform scope to tenanted price and car land to set the rotation limit at 7 hectares.
President Corazon C. Aquino, 1986 to 1992. Executive Order Number 228, July 16, 1987. Declared full ownership to qualified farmer beneficiaries covered by PD 27. Executive Order Number 229, July 22, 1987. Providing the mechanism of the implementation of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program. Proclamation Number 131, July 22, 1987, instituted the CARP as a major program of the government. Executive Order Number 129A, July 26, 1987, declared policy of the state of the completely abolish all remnants of the feudalism and all other types of unjust tenurial arrangement. Republic Act Number 6657, June 10, 1988, Comprehensive Agarian Reform Law, providing the mechanism of its implementation and for other purpose. Executive Order Number 407, June 14, 1990. All government-owned or controlled corporation to transfer ownership for all lands suitable for agriculture to the Department of Agrarian Reform Program.
President Fidel B. Ramos.
Fidel B. Ramos, the 12th President of the Philippines in 1992 to 1998, is remembered for steadfastly promoting the principles of people empowerment and global competitiveness. In 1993, he put an end to the power crisis that crippled Filipino homes and industries for 2 years.
President Joseph E. Estrada, 1988-2000. Executive Order Number 151, September 1999, Farmers Trust Fund, allowed the voluntary concentration of a small farm corporation into medium and large-scale integrated enterprise that can access long-term capital. Launch na magbalikat para sa kaunlaran agaryo or magsasaka. During the administration, President Estrada launched the magbalikat para sa kaunlarang agaryo or magsasaka. The DAR forced into joint ventures the private investors into agrarian sector to make FIBIs competitive. However, the Estrada administration was short-lived. The masses who put him into office demanded for his cost.
President Benigno C. Aquino III, 2010 to 2016, distributed their family-owned Hacienda Luisita in Tarlac. Agrarian Reform Community Connectivity and Economic Support Services Project. Agrarian Reproduction Credits Program, the Legal Case Monitoring System. Executive Order Number 26, Series of 2011, Agrarian Reform Convergence Initiative to develop a national greening program. President Benigno Aquino III vowed during his 2012 State of the Nation address that he would complete before the end of the term the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or the CARP. The centerpiece program of the administration, his mother, President Corazon Aquino. The younger Aquino distributed their family-owned Hacienda Luisita in Tarlac. Apart from said farm loss, he also promised to complete the distribution of private-owned lands from productive agricultural states in the country that have escaped the coverage of the program. Under his administration, the Agrarian Reform, Community Connectivity, and Economic Support Services, or the ARCCESS project was created to contribute to the overall goal of rural poverty reduction, especially in agrarian reform areas. Agrarian Production Credit Program, or the APCP, provided credit support for crop production to newly organized and existing agrarian reform beneficiaries or organization, or ARBOS, and farmers organizations not qualified to avail themselves of loans under the regular credits windows of banks. The Legal Case Monitoring System, or the LCMS, a web-based legal system for recording and monitoring various kinds of agrarian cases at the provincial, regional, and the central offices of the DAR to ensure faster resolution and close monitoring of agraria-related cases was also launched. Aside from these initiatives, Aquino also enacted Executive Order Number 26, Series of 2011, mandate the Department of Agriculture, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Department of Agrarian Reform, Convergence Initiative to develop a national greening program in cooperation with the other government agencies.
What is Kalahi Arzon? Kalahi Arzon is kapit-bisig laban sa kahirapan agrarian reforms. A Kalahi Arzon is defined as the sub-provincial area composed of one or more municipalities with a critical mass of agrarian reforms beneficiaries where ARCs and adjacent areas may be linked with regarding to functional, spatial, physical, institution, and cultural aspects to form some integrated economic units. Agrarian justice. The delivery of agrarian justice has two features: the adjudication of cases and agrarian legal assistance. Legal advisory involved legal service provided to agrarian reform beneficiaries and landowners, clients such as mediation and representation in judicial and quasi-judicial court. What is the goal of the agrarian justice? Its goals are to provide landowners equality in terms of income and opportunity, empower landowners, beneficiaries to have equitable land ownership, enhance agricultural production and productivity, provide employment to more agricultural workers, and put an end to conflict regarding land ownership.
President Benigno C. Aquino III, 2010 to 2016, distributed their family-owned hacienda Luisita in Tarlac. The Supreme Court has ruled for a just compensation to the Cuanco family owned for distribution of hacienda. Agarian Reform, Community Connectivity, and Economic Support Services Project. Their strategic intervention to retain the awarded lands of agrarian reform beneficiaries through increased production and engagement in agri-based and related enterprises.
President Rodrigo R. Duterte, 2016 to 2022, directed the DAR to launch the second phase of agrarian reform where landless farmers would be awarded with undistributed land under the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program. Under the leadership, the President wanted to pursue an aggressive land reform program that would help alleviate the life of poor Filipino farmers by prioritizing the provision of support services alongside and distribution. The President directed the DAR funds second phase of Agarian reform, where lands and farmers would be awarded with the distribution lands under the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or CARP, placed 400 hectares of agricultural lands in Boracay under CARP. Duterte plans to place almost all public lands, including military rivers, under the Agarian Reform.
Under his administration, the DAR created an anti-corruption task force to investigate and handle reports on alleged anomalies, activities by officials and employees of the department. The department also pursues an upland zero backlog in the resolution of cases in relation to agrarian justice delivery of the Agrarian Reform Program to fast-track the implementation of CARP.